Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Here our group will present about standardized TEP for teacher such as IELTS, CEFR, and etc. So TEP is a test English preparation. So I'm Annisa and there are Eryna and Bagas. So first I want to talk about IELTS. So what is IELTS? IELTS is offered up to 4 times a month in more than 130 countries. IELTS is internationally focused in its content. For example, text and tasks are sourced from publication from all over the English-speaking world, a range of native speaker accent. IELTS is designed to assess English language skill across a wide range of levels. There is no such thing as a pass or fail in IELTS. Results are reported as band scores on a scale from 1 to 9 highest. So the lowest is 1 and the highest is 9. Next. So this is there are something that you can do before joining the test. This is must you have done before you join the test. First, make sure you are ready to demonstrate your English. Second, practice using sample question. So before you want to join an English or IELTS or English preparation test, you have to make sure and practice use a sample question. So consider doing a practice test. 2 volumes of official IELTS practice material are available for purchase from test centers. Sample writing and speaking performance with examiner comments. And then develop your English capabilities and IELTS strategies. So you have to develop your English first. It's not for someone who has a minimum English skill, but IELTS is more high than that. And then multitask when listening in English and develop a wide range of reading skills. Also use appropriate and assertive English terms when writing. So this is more important. And then the last is speak with fluency or coherence in direct communication and immerse yourself in English. So in IELTS you must have skills that highest skill speaking in IELTS, because karena di IELTS ini speaking sudah bukan menggunakan kayak tapi kamu juga sudah harus lancar gitu untuk mendapatkan nilai yang tinggi. Okay, next. So this is preparing your test. This is must you have to do, and there are some tips from the web and the PDF that I've got. So first, know the IELTS rules and regulation. Jadi kalian pertama harus mengetahui beberapa peraturannya. Lalu it's important to familiarize yourself with the IELTS rules and regulation. These are laid out in the notice of candidates and the correlation with are included in the application form. When you sign the application form declaration or agree of the terms online, you're confirming that you have read and understood the IELTS rules and regulation and agree to abide by them. Next, register as soon as possible. Jadi kalian harus mendaftar sesegera mungkin. When you feel you are ready to take the test, jika kalian sudah siap untuk mengikutinya, kamu harus kamu harus daftar lagi, harus register for a test date with an IELTS center, di IELTS center. Contact the center as soon as possible, as the number of the test takers who can take the test on a particular date may be limited. You will need to pay the test fee when you register. Jadi di sini membayar tentu saja. And then tell your center if you have special requirements in order to ensure that the language ability of a test taker is assessed fairly and objectively. IELTS provides comprehensive service for test takers who have special requirements, including specific learning difficulties, hearing difficulties, and visual difficulties. Jadi kalian bilang ke IELTS centernya, kepada pihak IELTS, kalau kalian itu memiliki kendala di learning, di visual atau di hearing gitu, di pendengaran ataupun di penglihatan. Jadi nanti bisa disesuaikan. Itu yang bisa saya tangkap. And then next, for the 4 components of IELTS test. So IELTS di sini tidak seperti TOEFL atau TOEIC yang biasanya kita laksanakan. Jadi di IELTS ini ada yang namanya speaking. Jadi listening, reading, writing itu kan sudah umum. Nah, kalau di IELTS itu ada tambahannya yaitu speaking. So there are 4: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Next. Okay, this is all listening. About listening, so approximately 30 minutes plus 10 minutes transfer time. So ini dilaksanakan selama 30 menit, listening dilaksanakan selama 30 menit, dan questionnya ada 40 pertanyaan. A variety of question type are used, chosen from following multiple choices, ada pilihan ganda, matching, ada mencocokkan, plan, map, diagram, or labeling, from form completion, note completion, table completion, flowchart completion, summary, sentence completion, and short answer. Jadi di sini benar-benar harus diperhatikan karena waktunya hanya 30 menit dan kalian harus bisa mendengarkan dengan jeli supaya bisa menjawab dengan benar. Lalu ada skill assess. Di sini ada 3, menjawab 40 pertanyaan, lalu ada skill assess dan di sini ada markingnya. Jadi a wide range of listening skill are assessed, including understanding of main ideas, understanding of specific factual information, recognizing opinions, attitude, and purpose of a speaker, following the development and argument. Jadi kalian harus benar-benar harus mengikuti instruksi yang diberikan. Lalu markingnya, each correct, ini penilaiannya. Each correct answer receive 1 mark. Scores out of 40 are converted to the IELTS 9-band scale. Scores are reported in whole and half bands. Next. Sorry. Okay, this is the test part. So there are 4 sections. In the first section is a conversation between 2 people set in everyday social context. Conversation in accommodation agency. Section 2 is a monologue set in everyday social context. Speech about local facilities or talk about an arrangement for meals during a conference. Section 3 is conversation between 4 people set in an education or training context. University tutor and a student discussing an assignment or a group of student research. Section 4 is a monologue on an academic subject. Jadi untuk section pertama ada conversation, dialog antara 2 orang atau lebih. Lalu yang kedua ada monolog, nanti kalian harus mendengarkan. Yang ketiga ada conversation between 4 orang yang membicarakan tentang edukasi, terus training context dan lain-lain. Terus yang keempat adalah monolog on an academic subject. Next. Okay, there are reading. The reading section ada 60 menit. The questions ada 40 questions. A variety question types are used, chosen from the following multiple choice, identifying information. Ini kayak milih true, false, or tidak ingin memberikan jawaban. Identifying a writer's view or claims, sama. Matching information, matching headings, matching feature, matching sentence endings, sentence completion, summary completion, note completion, table completion, flowchart, diagram, table, and another. And the skill assessment-nya, a wide range of reading skill are assessed, including reading for guessed, reading for main idea, reading for detail, understanding inference and implied meaning, recognizing writers, opinion, attitude, and purpose. And the marking, answer receive 1 mark. Scores of 14 converted to the IELTS is IELTS 9-band scale. Oke, jadi readingnya termasuk ini. Ada reading for guess. Jadi yang saya tangkap dari reading di IELTS adalah ini. Kalian harus benar-benar teliti dalam membacanya. Okay, this the test part will continue by Eryna.
Okay, for test part, section 1 contains 2 or 3 short factual texts, one of which may be composite or consisting of 6 to 8 short texts related by topic, e.g. hotel advertisements. Topics are relevant to everyday life in an English-speaking country. Section 2 contains Two short factual texts focusing on work-related issues, e.g., applying for jobs, company policies, pay and conditions, workplace facilities, staff development, and training. Section 3 contains one longer, more complex text on a topic of general interest. Texts are authentic and are taken from notice, advertisements, company handbooks, official documents, books, magazines, and newspaper. Next. Okay, writing timing 90 minutes. In task 1, you are presented with a graph, table, chart, or diagram and are asked to describe, summarize, or explain the information in your own words. You may be asked to describe and explain data, describe the stage of a process, how something works, or describe an object or event. In task 2, you are asked to write an essay in response to a point of view, argument, or problem. The issues raised are of general interest too, suitable for and easily understood by test takers entering undergraduate or postgraduate studies or seeking professional registrations. Response to task 1 and task 2 should be written in an academic, semi-formal, or neutral style. In both tasks, you are assessed on your ability to write a response which is appropriate in terms of content, the organization of ideas, the accuracy and range of vocabulary and grammar. In task 1, depending on the task type, you are assessed on your ability to organize, present, and possibly compare data to describe the stage of a process of procedure, to describe an object or event or a sequence of events, to explain how something works. In task 2, depending on the task type, you are assessed on your ability to present a solution to a problem, to present and justify an opinion, to compare and contrast evidence, opinions and implications, to evaluate and challenge ideas, evidence, or an argument. Next. Okay, this is for speaking. Timing 11 to 14 minutes. Part 1, Introduction and Interview, 4 to 5 minutes. The examiner introduces him or herself and asks you to introduce yourself and confirm your identify. The examiner asks you general questions on familiar topics, e.g., home, family, work, studies, and interests. Part 2, Individual long term, 3 to 4 minutes. The examiner gives you a task chart which asks you to talk about a particular topic and which includes points you can cover in your talk. You are given 1 minute to prepare your talk and are given a pencil and paper to make notes. You talk for 1 to 2 minutes uh, on the topic. The examiner may then ask you 1 or 2 questions on the same topic. Part 3, Two-way discussions, 4 to 5 minutes. The examiner asks further questions which are connected to the topic of Part 2. These questions give you an opportunity to discuss more abstract issues and ideas. Next. Okay. Skills assessed. A wide range of speaking skills are assessed, including the ability to communicate opinions and information on everyday topics and common experience and situations by answering a range of questions. The ability to speak at length on a given topic using appropriate language and organizing ideas coherently. The ability to express and justify opinions and to analyze, discuss, and speculate about issues. Marking. You are assessed on your performance throughout the test by certificated IELTS examiners according to the IELTS speaking test assessment criteria. Okay. IELTS 5 steps to success. Okay, there are 5 steps to success. The first is inquiry. The second is registration. The third is confirmation. The fourth is task day. And the last is result. And this is there is a links also, some links. Okay. So, what is the common European framework of reference? CEFR is a way of describing how well you speak and understand a foreign language. The CEFR is on a European scale and has been specifically designed to apply to any European language so it can be used to describe your English, German, or Estonian skills. The CEFR has been very significant in language learning and teaching because its impact goes beyond merely describing learner levels. It has underpinned a particular approach to language learning as the one most commonly recommended or expected in language teaching today. So, next.
And this is the table, the proficient user level. How about the mastery, effective operational proficiency, vintage, threshold? As an independent user, there is a B1 and a B2 score. And the basic user, there is um, A1 and A2, wastage B2. Um, if can I speak Y1 in every step or in every column in the table, there is a general description about the mastery. Mastery is a highly proficient, can use English very fluently, precisely, and sensitively in most contexts. At the Cambridge English exam, the Cambridge English is the proficiency. And the sheet one, effective operational proficiency. And the general description, they able to use English fluently and flexible in a wide range of contexts. At the Cambridge English exam table, there is a Cambridge English Advanced. And the independent user, B2, Vantage, general description is a can use English effectively with some fluency in a range of contexts. And the Cambridge English exam, they as a first for school. As a threshold, can communicate essential points and ideas in familiar context. At the Cambridge English exam, preliminary for school. As a basic stage or basic user, there is way stage can communicate in English within a limited range of context. Key for school Cambridge flyers. Breakthrough can communicate in basic English with help from the listener. Cambridge English movers can be starters. Alright, we're going to the next activity. This is why we do need this. This is because teachers with proficient languages skills are considered to have a higher ability to provide accurate explanations and richer language input. Um, Even among teachers of the same language in similar contexts, there can be a lot of variety in what is meant by term, like beginner, intermediate, of, or advanced. This variability increases significantly across different languages, in different countries, with different age range of learners. This approach is based on the notion of communicative proficiency, the increasing ability to communicate and operate effectively in the target language. Example of can-do statement from the CEFR can describe in simple terms aspects of his or her background, immediate environment, and matters in areas of immediate need. A2 global scale can understand enough to follow extended speech on abstract and complex topics beyond his or her own field, though he or she may need to confirm occasional details, especially if the accent is unfamiliar. The third can understand a wide range of long and complex text, appreciating subtle distinction of style and implicit as well as explicit meaning. Can write personal letters and not asking for or conveying simple information of immediate relevance, getting across the point he or she feels to be important. And the last is can use stock phrases to gain time, and keep the turn wheel formulating what to say. What is it used for? The CEFR is used for many different practical purposes. It can be developing syllabus, creating tests or exams, making exams, evaluating language learning needs, designing courses, developing learning materials, describing language policies, continuous or self-assessment, teacher training program. The CEFR help us understand the different levels of language proficiency. It also helps us understand how learners progress through the level. This is the level. CEFR level C2. Guided learning hours. Approximately 1,000 until 1,200. This is C2 approximate by this until this, B2 approximate by this until this, and so on and so on. I think you can see at the your video. The CEFR global scale, you will find the global scale is a useful starting point. This is a C2 can understand with its virtually spoken and written sources, reconstructing argument and account in coherent presentation. Can understand with as a first. Can express him or herself spontaneously, very fluently and precisely, differentiating finer shades of meaning even in more complex situations. And the C1 can understand a wide range of demanding, larger text and recognize implicit meaning. Can express him or herself fluently and spontaneously without much obvious searching for expression. And can use language flexible and effectively for social, academic, and professional purpose. Can produce clear, well-structured, detailed text on complex subjects, showing controlled use of organizational patterns, connectors, and cohesive devices. And the B2 can understand the main ideas of complex text on both concrete and abstract topics, including technical discussion on his or her field of specialization, can interact with a degree of fluency and spontaneity that makes regular interaction with native speaker quite possible with train for either party. Can produce clear, detailed text on a wide range of subjects and explain a viewpoint on a topical issue, giving the advantages and disadvantages of various options. And the B1 can understand the main point of clear standard input on familiar matters regularly encountered in work, school, leisure, and so on, and can deal with most situations likely to arise whilst, whilst traveling in an area where the language is spoken. Can produce simple connected text on topics which are familiar on or of personal interest. Can describe experience and even dreams, hope, and ambition, and briefly give reasons and explanation for opinions and plans. Can understand sentence and frequently use expression related to areas of most immediate relevance. Maybe the next you can read by yourself, because if I'm read too much, it can be a long time. Alright. Um, in norm reference test, each test taker score is interpreted in relation to a mean, average score, median, middle score, standard deviation, extent of variance in score, and or percentile rank. The purpose of such test is to place test takers along a mathematical continuum in rank order. Scores are usually reported back to the test taker in the form of numerical score. And the criterion difference tests, on the other hand, are designed to give test takers feedback, usually in the form of specific course or lesson objective classroom tests involving the student in only one class and connected to a curriculum are typical of criterion difference testing. In language assessment, with an audience of classroom language teachers and teachers in training, it emphasizes on classroom-based assessment as um, opposed to standardized large-scale testing. Criterion reference testing is of more prominent interest than norm reference testing. This is the conclusion. This means that many learners will follow more than one courses to progress from one level to the next. We can also use this design to indicate the top half of a level. For example, B1 plus means the top half of the B1 range. You will find these conventions followed on Cambridge course book. But the CEFR is particularly useful because it applies the same set of levels to all the various sub-skills and areas to competence, the basic four skills: speaking, reading, and the writing and listening, communicative language. E.g. turn taking, asking for clarification, type of interaction, e.g. obtaining good and suffices interviewing, and more linguistic skill, e.g. vocabulary range, phonological control. It allows you link up skills in each of these areas with the student's overall level, in any kind of level. Thank you so much. I think that's all for my for our describing about our material. Sorry if any wrong word or maybe there is obstacle in our description. Sorry. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Goodbye.